Today we're going to look at 18 different companies that if you buy shares of them now before their ex-dividend date, you'll be able to reap the rewards come January when those dividends get paid out. We're starting right here with Pepsi, ticker symbol PEP. Currently trading around $184 a share. And you can see here that in the last year, Pepsi's actually up in share price by 14.25%, which means the dividend yield is a little bit lower at 2.5%, and the PE is a little bit higher at 27.14%. Let's get looking further at the dividend grades for Pepsi. We can see that Seeking Alpha gives them some pretty solid grades overall. We've got an A in dividend safety, an A+ in both growth and consistency, and a C+ in yield, because we know that yield's only 2.5% right now. We've got 49 years of dividend growth, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 7.39%, and you can see that this is going to go ex-dividend on December 1st with a payout on January 6th. Next up is Genuine Parts Company, ticker symbol GPC, currently trading just over $186 a share. You can see that share price appreciation in the last year is 40.58%. Earnings per share, 8.16. We've got a forward PE of 22.82, and the yield right now definitely on the lower side, especially with that share price appreciation at just 1.92%. When looking at the dividend grades, bear in mind that this is comparative to those other companies that are traded in the consumer discretionary sector. We've got a D in safety, an F in dividend growth. We've got a C- in yield, and an A+ in consistency. Genuine Parts Company has been giving and growing this dividend for 65 years now. 5-year dividend growth rate of 5.46%. Payout ratio is 43.32%. You can see that they're going to go ex-dividend here on December 1st, and we've got a pay date on the 3rd of January. Regions Financial Corporation, ticker symbol RF, trading just close to $23 a share right now. You can see in the last year, they're actually down in share price by 2.56%. We've got a forward PE of only 9.73 and a forward yield for that dividend of 3.5%. These dividend grades are relative to those companies traded in the financial sector, and we've got a C- in safety, a D in growth, and a B- in both yield and consistency. We've got 9 years of dividend growth and a 5-year dividend growth rate, which is pretty impressive, just under 20%. Payout ratio is only 33%. They're going to go ex-dividend on December 7th with a payout on January 3rd. Automatic Data Processing is up next. Ticker symbol is ADP, and they're trading just under $264 a share. You can see here in the last year, they are up in share price just under 15%. We've got a forward PE of 32.58. Feels a little too high for my liking, but at any rate, the dividend yield also on the lower side, 1.89%. Looking at the dividend grades for ADP, we can see we've got an A in safety, a B+ in growth, a C+ in yield, and an A+ in consistency with 23 years of dividend growth, 5-year dividend growth rate of 12.78%. We've got that yield on the lower side again at 1.89%. They're going to go ex-dividend here on December 8th with a payout on the 1st of the year. Kimberly-Clark Corporation, ticker symbol KMB, trading just over $135 a share right now. In the last year, they're just under in share price by 0.18%. They've got a dividend rate right now of $4.64 for each share that you own, giving them a dividend yield of 3.44%. The forward PE is still a little on the high side for my liking at 24.01. But they do have some solid dividend grades overall, with a B+ in both safety and yield, an A- in growth, and an A+ in consistency. Kimberly-Clark's been given this dividend and growing it for the last 49 years. That 5-year dividend growth rate is a little bit on the lower side at 3.82%. They're going to go ex-dividend on December 8th with a payout on the 4th of January. Next up is Altria Group, ticker symbol MO. In the last year, they're actually up in share price by 2.29%. With a forward PE of 9.29, they've got a very hefty yield of 8.4%, which is why it's probably one of the favorites among dividend investors. But the dividend safety grade is a C+, but we've got A+ for growth, yield, and consistency. Traded within the consumer staples sector, this SIN stock has been growing their dividend for 52 years. 5-year dividend growth rate is just under 8% at 7.89%. Payout ratio a little bit higher. Again, they've been growing this dividend for 52 years, so it doesn't shock me too much at 76.63%. They're going to go ex-dividend. We can anticipate on December 14th with a payout on January 11th. UGI Corporation is up next with the ticker symbol of UGI. There's a shocker. In the last year, they're actually down about 10% in share price with a forward PE of 13.33. We've got a dividend yield of 3.63%. Dividend grades are pretty solid overall. We've got a B plus in both safety and yield, a B in dividend growth, and an A plus in consistency. Traded within the utility sector, UGI has 34 years of dividend growth. The 5-year dividend growth rate is 7.94%, and we've got that dividend yield of 3.63%. They're going to go ex-dividend coming up in the middle of December on the 14th with a pay date on the 1st of the year. Republic Bancorp Incorporated, ticker symbol RBCAA. This company is newer to me. We can see here that in the last year, they're down 17.3% in share price. We've got a forward PE of 9.73 and a dividend yield right now of 3.11%. These dividend grades aren't looking too good for Republic Bancorp. We've got a D plus for dividend safety, a D minus for growth, a C plus for yield, and an A minus for dividend consistency because they've been giving and growing this dividend for 21 years now. They do have a pretty impressive 5-year dividend growth rate at 9.18%. Payout ratio is only 30.05%. They're going to go ex-dividend on December 15th with a payout on January 20th. Canadian Natural Resources Limited, ticker symbol CNQ, is trading just over $60 a share right now. In the last year, they are up in share price almost 50%, which is pretty impressive. The PE right now is 6.8%, and they've got a dividend yield of 4.12%. Looking at the dividend grades for Canadian Natural Resources, we can see here that we've got a B minus in safety, an A in growth, a C plus in yield, and a B plus in consistency. We've got just 6 years of dividend growth, but that 5-year dividend growth rate is very impressive at 21.66%. And the payout ratio is only 23.46%. They do go ex-dividend here on December 15th with a payout on the 5th of January. Huntington Bank Shares Incorporated, ticker symbol HBAN, and last year they're down just under 1% in share price. They've got a forward PE of 10.38 and a dividend yield of 4.07%. The dividend grades for safety and growth aren't super impressive. We got a D plus for safety and a D minus for growth, and a B plus for yield and an A minus for consistency. Traded within the financial sector, you can see here they've got 11 years of dividend growth, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 14.14%, and that dividend yield of 4.07. They do go ex-dividend on the 16th of December with a payout on January 3rd. Looking at Ecolab Incorporated, we can see that they're trading for just under $149 a share. In the last year, they're down in share price by 34.16%, with a forward PE definitely on the higher side at 33.37. They've got a yield that's only 1.37%. Looking at the dividend grades, we can see that we've got an A minus in both safety and growth, a D plus in yield, again, it's only 1.37%, but we've got an A plus in consistency. Ecolab is traded in the materials sector, and they've been growing this dividend for 28 years now. 5-year dividend growth rate's only 6.63%, but they do go ex-dividend, we can anticipate, on the 19th of December with a payout sometime around January 17th. Heartland Bancorp, ticker symbol HLAN, trading for just over $90 a share. You can see here that they're down in share price about 3.12% in the last year. Forward PE is 10.34, and they've got a dividend yield of 3.06%. Not the strongest dividend grades according to Seeking Alpha, but Heartland Bancorp has a C plus in dividend safety and yield, a C in growth, and a B plus in consistency. And again, these are relative to other companies that are traded within the financial sector. We've got 9 years of dividend growth, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 9.91%. It's going to go ex-dividend mid-December on the 22nd with a payout on January 10th. Let's look at Medtronic PLC, ticker symbol MDT, trading for just over $79 a share right now. In the last year, they are down in share price just under 29%. They've got a forward PE of 15.02, and the dividend yield right now is 3.44%. Some solid dividend grades overall, according to Seeking Alpha, and those being traded within the healthcare sector. We got a B plus in safety, an A minus in both growth and yield, and an A plus in dividend consistency. Looking here on Seeking Alpha, it does note only 8 years of dividend growth, but there are actually far more years of dividend growth. And if we look at the dividend history tab, you can see that we've got 43 years of consistent dividend payments. Going back to that scorecard, you can see the 5-year dividend growth rate of 8.04% and a payout ratio just above 49%. They're going to go ex-dividend again, we can anticipate, on December 22nd with a payout on January 14th. Looking at Philip Morris International Incorporated, ticker symbol PM, trading for just over $98 a share right now. They're actually one of the ones that are up in share price in the last year by 10.79%. That forward PE is 17.32, and they've got a nice dividend yield of 5.17%. Some pretty solid grades according to Seeking Alpha in terms of their dividends, with a B in dividend safety, an A+ in growth, an A in yield, and an A- in dividend consistency. Traded within the consumer staples sector, Philip Morris is giving us 13 years of dividend growth, 5-year dividend growth rate of 3.68%, payout ratio definitely on the higher side at 84.8%. But again, we've got a nice dividend yield of 5.17%. We can anticipate that they're going to go ex-dividend around the 27th of December with a payout on January 12th. Looking at Algonquin Power and Utility Score, they've taken a pretty significant hit in the last month. Year to date, they're down just under 44%, but in the last month, we've had a really big dip, and you can see when that happened. That was right after the Q3 earnings were reported. So we've got a forward PE here of 11.52. We've got a dividend yield of 9.42%. There is some speculation that there could be a dividend cut coming, so something to stand by and keep an eye on. But in terms of the dividend grades here over on Seeking Alpha, we've got a C for both safety and growth, an A+ for that dividend yield, again it's 9.42%, and a B for dividend consistency. They are traded in the utility sector. We've got 9 years of dividend growth and a 5-year dividend growth rate of 9.07%. They're going to go ex-dividend on the 29th of December with a payout on January 13th. Franklin Resources Incorporated, ticker symbol BEN, trading just under $27 a share. In the last year, they're down 19.22%. They've got a forward PE of 10.61 and a dividend yield of 4.33%. The dividend scorecard shows us a C+ in safety, a B- in growth, B+ in yield, and an A+ in consistency with 25 years of dividend growth. We've got a 5-year dividend growth rate of 7.71%. Payout ratio is just under 32%. We can anticipate that they're going to go ex-dividend probably around December 29th with a payout on January 14th. Cardinal Health Incorporated, ticker symbol CAH, trading for just under $79 a share. And you can see there's been some serious share price appreciation in the last year. They're up almost 66%. The forward PE is 14.86, and the yield, again, with that share price appreciation, has definitely come down a bit in recent months to 2.51%. The dividend scorecard is fairly strong. We've got a B+ in safety, a C+ in growth, an A- in yield, and an A+ in consistency. And again, this is comparative to those companies traded within the healthcare sector. 27 years of dividend growth, 5-year dividend growth rate definitely on the lower side at 1.6. Payout ratio just under 40%. And they are going ex-dividend on the 30th of December with a payout on the 15th of January. Federal Realty Investment Trust, ticker symbol FRT, is trading for just over $110 a share right now. In the last year, they're down in share price by 11.76%. The price to funds from operations is at 17.61 with a dividend yield of 3.92%. In terms of dividend grades, we've got a C in safety, a C+ in growth, a D+ in yield, and an A+ in dividend consistency. Again, we got 53 years of dividend growth here. 5-year dividend growth rate is very low at 1.72%. We can expect that they're going to go ex-dividend here on the 30th of December with a payout on January 17th. Now let's take a quick look at the ex-dividend dates so you can see when they're going to be paying out. You guys can pause and take a quick screenshot of this so that you know when you have to purchase shares of any of these companies if you're so inclined to add them to your portfolio to be able to be privy to the divvy on the payout dates coming in January. And here's the list of the payout days in January. Now, we just reviewed 18 companies rapid fire. So here's a list for you. If you want to look at all the research that I've done, so here you'll have the dividend yield of each of the companies, along with the forward PE, the ex-dividend date, the pay date, the payout ratio, the 5-year average dividend growth rate, and the number of years that that company's been growing their dividends. And if you want to keep up on any of those companies that might be offering us dividend increases, take a peek at this video next.